Hey guys, it is Erika Misha. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. And as you guys can tell by the title, something that I've been, talking to God about lately. And the title of this one, looking at my notes, Am I Doing Enough? Am I doing enough? I find myself asking God this a lot lately. I've been asking him, from time to time I've asked God this. But lately I've been asking him, am I doing enough? And I think that comes from, me changing my schedule and everything around, to do, both channels full time, especially, both of these channels being my ministry channels. Don't forget to go in the description box, guys. In the description box, you will see the link to my second channel. Go over there, show me some love and support. That's my cooking, just all kind of girly stuff I'm doing over there. Cooking, makeup, nails, family vlogs, DIYs, all kinds of stuff over there. So if you're into any of that, click on that link in the description box. It will take you over to my second channel. But like I was saying, I've been asking God, because God had to get on me, like I've been sharing with you guys here lately about, God telling me, that there's things that he wants me to be doing. So, as I find myself, doing the things that God has told me to do, I find myself asking, God, talking to God and, saying, hey, am I doing enough? And I'm sure we all have felt like that in our, Christian walk, with God, saying, hey, God, am I doing enough? Am I doing what you want me to do? And that's what, I've been talking to God about. And it's funny because even though it's like I feel, like I'm doing more, way more than what I used to do. I know that for a fact. So, but even at times we can think we're doing enough and we think, we're good and everything's all fine. But to God, it may not be enough, It may not be enough in his eyes. So, let me look at my notes. I find myself sometimes asking God, am I doing enough? At times I'm afraid to ask God because I know he will tell me I can always be doing more. That's true. This is so true. At times I find myself, not wanting to ask God, am I doing enough? Because of that fear that he'll tell me, you're not doing enough. This is what you should be doing. This and this and this and that, just adding more to my life, and a lot of times I find myself doing that, I find myself doing that, saying, okay, God, going to God. Oh, God, am I doing enough, God? Is there more? Is there anything you want me to do? Is there something I should be doing? And it's funny because as soon as he answered me and said, yes, you should be doing this, and that. And then I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I'm sorry I asked. Sorry I even asked, but it's funny because, that's just, the human nature in us, it's just that human nature in us, saying, am I doing enough? And then when God answers you, you're like, ooh, oh, I'm not? God, I thought I was. And I find myself guilty of that a lot. I find myself so guilty of that, saying, hey, God, is there more I should be doing? And as soon as he tells me, nope, this is what you should be doing, I find myself saying, oh, really? I thought I was doing enough. But okay, God, okay. I'm serious. Just talking to him just like that. And it's funny because we know deep down inside in our spirits, we know when we're doing enough and when we're not. We know. Let me see. We feel when we do a little, oh yeah, I'm glad I wrote that down. When we feel like just because we do a little something, oh, we swear we doing a lot. Oh, we is really doing it. Just because we do a little bit of something, I'm telling you, that's how I was. Because I was like, okay, God, here it is. I got these 2 channels. I'm doing full time over here on my cooking channel. God, I'm doing once a week. At least I'm doing once a week over there on my spiritual channel. And I swear, I'm telling you, couldn't tell me I wasn't doing. I thought that was good enough. I thought I was doing it. I thought I was pleasing God with that once a week. But yeah, no. That's what God said. Yeah, no. So yeah, we gotta, ask God, and a lot of times we be afraid of asking him, am I doing enough? Is there more I should be doing, because of selfish reasons. Because I know that's how it was with me. Very selfish. didn't want to do more than what God had me doing. And, you know, because I wanted to do other things that I wanted to do, you know, not making God a priority. Yes. I'm sure we all guilty of that, not making God a priority. So, you know, let me see. We can always be doing more for God, for Christ. We can always be doing more. You know, that's what God shared with me. When I was talking to God, God was like, there's always something you could be, always more you could be doing. You know, because it's like, I feel, okay, no matter what I do, it's like sometimes I feel like, okay, God, is this enough? Will it ever be enough? You know, will it ever be enough? You know, will it ever be enough? You know, that's how I feel. Seriously, sometimes that's how I really feel. Like, is it ever gonna? Am I ever gonna be doing enough? Even when I'm tired, and I feel like I'm just doing a lot, and I've done a lot. That's how I feel. Like I'm not doing enough. Okay, asking God, what more can I be doing for Him? Yes, I talked about that. If you're feeling like you're not doing enough, then maybe you're not doing enough. Yep. That's the truth of the matter. You know, it's like if you feel like you're not doing enough, then you're probably not. And you know, that's what I said to myself. You know, when I went to God, I'm like, hey God, you know, is there more I should be doing? And when God said, yes, do this, I need you to do this, I want you to do this and this and that. And then, okay, all right, so when I started doing those things, and then I went back into that, okay, am I doing enough? I don't feel like I'm doing enough. You know, it's like I was kind of going back and forth with the situation. But the fact that I had to ask myself and ask God, am I doing enough? Because I asked myself first. I was like, am I doing enough? Am I doing enough for God? You know, because that fell in my spirit. Like, am I doing enough for God? And then I said, well, you know, let me go ask Him. Let me go ask God. And then I was like, I don't know if I want to ask Him, because He'll probably say I'm not, and then He gonna want me to do all this stuff. I'm telling you, we know. Now, come on now. So of course I went to God, and I was like, okay, now that I've mustered up the courage to go to Him and say, hey, not that I'm afraid to talk to God. Of course not. I know God gets tired of talking to me. But when I went to God, I was like, okay, let me go ahead and ask God, because I already know God gonna tell me, girl, no, girl, there's more, always more you could be doing. So when I went to God and said, hey God, you know, hey, you know, yada yada yada, He was like, yeah, no, I know you started doing those other things I told you. God said, okay, you did the other list, here's a new list. Do this, do that. I'm telling you. And when I went to God, I was like, God, you know, man, shouldn't have went and asked Him. That's how I felt, because I knew, you know, there was always more God wants me to be doing. Always something God wants us to be doing. There's always something that we can do for God. You know, whether, you know, that's letting our light shine through us, His light, God's light shine through us, you know, ministering to somebody, talking to somebody, calling somebody, you know, and just, you know, just knowing that whatever God tells us to do, we have to be obedient enough to do it, you know, because when I went to Him and God gave me that long list, I was like, okay, God, how about I do half? I'm bargaining. I'm telling you, don't we do that? We'll be bargaining with God. Okay, God, if I do this, now, okay, if I do the first 3, and can I say the other 10 for later? You know, because y'all know God, ask God, there's more you could be doing. He gonna give you that whole list. So He ain't gave me a whole list, but I just wanted to come and share that today. That's what I had been talking to God about, really. You know, I went and talked to God about, am I doing enough? You know, ask yourself, am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? So that's definitely a question. You know, go to God and ask God if you're doing enough for Him. I know I had to ask Him, so yep. So alright guys, I just wanted to come and share that. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Don't forget to go in the description box. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media. That's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, of course, at Arika Misha, guys. I'm telling you, I'm everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, I'm always somewhere posting something, doing something. I'm telling you, I stay busy. These 2 channels are definitely full-time ministries. They keep me busy. So keep myself busy, I can stay out of trouble. Well, you know, that's what we tell ourselves. But alright guys, thank you so much for joining me today on my spiritual journey. Thank you guys for your love and support. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, follow, and show me some love and support, guys. I appreciate your time. I appreciate all of you for being here with me. I appreciate you guys commenting. I appreciate you taking time out of your day. And all right, guys, thank you. Bye.